morning. Today our class is about Pragmatic Programmer. Pragmatic Programmer is a book written by Andrew Hunt and David Thomas. This information is very much useful to students, academicians, project managers, programmers. So, listen to this class. Agenda: what is Pragmatic Programmer? Traits, problems, practices, tips and rewards. My name is Dr. Jainendrakumar. You can see my profile from this link displayed here. Pragmatic Programmer. The Pragmatic Programmer is a book about programming tips. It talks about rules and principles that helps one to improve programming efficiency. What do you mean by pragmatic? Pragmatic is a practical approach to any problem rather than theory. It's a purely practical approach using your common sense. Advocate behavior, that is attitudes towards best practices. Be aware of everything happening around you. That is, you should know the surroundings. Pragmatic programmer must know his surroundings and his developments. Programmer is a craftsman. He has to care his craft. Programmer directs the computer to do what he or she wants it to do it. Programmer captures requirements and finds a method so that a mere machine can do it. Programmer documents the work so that others can understand. Here, some description about the programmer. It's self-explanatory. Traits of Pragmatic Programmer. Let us see what are the traits of Pragmatic Programmer. He must be an early adapter. That is, they enjoy change, language, methodology, and strive to implement changes fast. Early adapter to the changes. Inquisitive, curious and questioning type. They are always learning languages, tools, techniques and methods. He is a critical thinker, analytical and diagnostic. He should critically think about the problems and come to a conclusion. He must be realistic, accurate and authentic. They are highly aware of what they are doing. Realistic. They should take realistic work. Think in large context. A bird's eye view, we can say. They begin with an end in mind. Take responsibility. That is, accountability and answerability. They take responsibility for their success as well as the failure, especially failures. They must be jack of all trades. They are able to do variety of different jobs. Then continuous improvements. Making small, consistent improvements that over time can produce massive changes in their profession. So these are the traits or characteristics of Pragmatic Programmer. Here now we are coming to the tips. Care your craft. As I said earlier, the programmer is a craftsman. He has to care his craft. If you don't enjoy your profession, you will never be great in it. So, do it with a passion. That is, care about your craft. The second tip says, think about your work. If you think more, your planning will be more and your design will be very optimized, and code, you need to write only less code. The cat ate my source code. Problems happens in every project, despite of taking every measures of safety, testing, documents, automation, etc. Problems can happen in any of these even design, development. Don't afraid to admit ignorance or error. A pragmatic programmer never afraid to admit ignorance. If anything can go wrong, it will. If anything can go wrong, it will. So don't assume and prepare yourself for the worst. That is self-explanatory. That wordings itself is self-explanatory. The greatest of all weakness is the fear of appearing weak. So weakness is the fear of appearing weak. Otherwise, no weakness. Then we can be proud of our ability, but we must be honest about our shortcomings. You can be proud of your abilities, expertise, knowledge, but at the same time, we must be honest about our shortcomings. We should know our problems. Then try to cover it up. Try to improve it on. Take responsibility. Responsibility cannot be delegated. That is, whatever happens, it is the programmer's responsibility in his code. Be accountable for your responsibility. That is, you must be answerable and accountable for your responsibility. You must be able to explain why it has happened. Something like that, if something goes wrong. Don't blame someone or something else and don't make excuse. It's all self-explanatory. I am going forward. Then provide solution for the problem. Don't say it can be done without doing much research on it. Explain why it can't be done or provide options. When you think about a problem, suppose a problem is assigned to you, definitely, immediately you should not say no to it. You have to research on it. You have to provide, then you will find out a lot of options, how it can be done. Don't make lame excuses. Before asking any help, explain the problem. Go through the conversation in your mind. Be self-reliant. Immediately when you are assigned with a problem, don't go for a help. Explain the problem, then go through the conversation in your mind after doing research. Then try to be self-reliant as far as possible. What is step 3? Tip 3 is provide options, don't make lame excuses. That is already we have discussed in the previous chapters, previous slide. Next is software entropy. Despite of best plans and people, a project can still experience ruin and decay in its lifetime. It could be because of some bad decision and stretching it. Keep your project updated with respect to change requirement and environment. Changes are inevitable in any project, in anything, irrespective of subject, changes can come. How you are adaptable to that change, that is important. So entropy can come at any time. Broken window theory. Fix each piece of bad code as it discovered or comment it. You are out of time. If you are out of time. Broken window theory. Whenever you find a problem, fix it. Don't leave it like that. Help your team by surveying your neighborhood. That is, observe the surroundings, technology, companies, industry. Then help your team. Take 2-3 bad codes or broken windows and discuss it with your colleagues. That is another method to improve. Don't leave with broken window. Tip 4. Wrong decisions may lead to bad design and poor code which is unrepaired. Fix each one as soon as it is discovered. We have discussed that. Here there is another story. Stone, soup and boiled frog. You can read the story from the textbook, The Pragmatic Programmer from Journeyman to Master, written by Andrew Hunt and David Thomas. Here, that stone soup explains be a catalyst for change. What is a stone soup story? Some soldiers are coming to a village. Then villagers are reluctant to help. Then they are initiating with making a soup. After seeing this, villagers one by villagers are coming, and finally they are making a good soup with the help of all the villagers. That is big catalyst for it. In the beginning, there was nothing with the soldiers. They had nothing to eat, but they have started with a stone soup. In the end, scenario has changed. Everybody was happy with the soup. So don't take support for granted. Like the soldiers did, don't take support. You initiate something and extract. Automatically the people will come to that in that way. Be focused. People lose the will to fight entropy, so do it slowly. In the frog story, if you put a frog into a boiled water, it will jump out. Whereas if you put a frog in a cold pot, then slowly warm it up. Finally the frog will die in it. That is, do it slowly so that you can do the work. This is tip 5. Be catalyst for change. Example, villagers stone soup story. Tip 6. Remember the big picture. People will identify the small entropy, but they ignore it, and that will lead to a big one. Similar to frog story. Similarly, frog die in a pot while gradually heating it up. Entropy gradually will increase, then frog will die. Good enough software. There is no perfect software as such. It is a myth, only in mythology. Good enough for your users, maintainers, your own peace of mind. That's all. You have to satisfy your users. You have to meet the requirement of the users. That's all. There is nothing like a perfect software. And involve your users in trade-off, especially in Agile. Each sprint, at the end of each sprint, we are inviting the customers to review the product. Then if they satisfy, we will take it up. Like that trade-off. Involve your users in trade-off. So you will be successful. Then tip 7, make quality a requirement issue. When your users are satisfied, quality is assured. What is quality? Conformance to the requirement of your users. If you can meet that, quality requirement is achieved. Pragmatic programmer best practices. Tip 8. Invest regularly in your knowledge portfolio. Your knowledge portfolio are your knowledge and experience are your professional assets. Unfortunately, they are expiring assets and need to be sharpened continuously. If you don't update, it will get obsolete. Your value declines with an unupdated knowledge you have. All self-explanatory. So, build your portfolio. Invest regularly. Diversify different areas, technology, project management methodologies, project management processes. Learn it. Review and rebalance your portfolio periodically. Buy low, sell high. That is the secret. Read technical or non-technical books. Participate in user groups. Experiment. Stay current. Use your learning. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. You have to think critically. Tip 9.